What's up, guys? Back with me here with Smallville, Season 3, Episode 10, Whisper. Okay, so this episode starts off at a jewelry store where Clark and Lana are talking, and it seems like and Lana says she has to go. So, so Clark goes to the jewelry store and to pick up something for the mom or something, and that's what the store clerk is like. Here's a necklace, but you can't buy it because it's full of kryptonite that weakens him. So yeah, and that's when this Robert comes in and he just puts his mouth together. He like does the thing where he does this and just like creates a big sonic blast that. And Clark tries to use his heat vision, but when on the kryptonite, and when Lana goes back to Clark is blind. So yeah, so yeah, so yeah, so so, so is blind. He gets an ability to like hear what people are to like hear what people are saying from different places or yeah. So he hears about he uses this new hearing ability. He accidentally hears Chloe and Lionel talk about Clark, and later he goes to confront Clark and goes to confront her, and he's like, and yeah, he's got some shades on, which is very cool. He's like, hey Chloe, why were you working with Lionel? And she's like, yeah, it only happened like yeah. He's like after all you're talking about me keeping secrets, you keep this, and you didn't tell me, and yeah, Chloe just leaves upset, and so yeah, so Clark, Clark, he tries to talk to Pete, but then that guy who you had the power is like, hey Pete, come on, hey Ross, come on, Pete, come in, trucking Clark's like, do you know him? And he's like, get in the truck. So Pete gets kidnapped, and and Masterson like, and they arrest Masterson, but he's like the main bad guy, and he's like, if you don't like if you don't release, they're like, if you don't release Masterson from jail, they're going to like kill Clark. But yeah, but Clark does find out that he tells the guy that kidnapped Pete, that said, hey, they're gonna let me out, and you can kill Pete anyway. So yeah, the guy wasn't gonna actually give in to the demands of. The guy was actually gonna let go and then let Pete go. So Clark goes to save Pete, and yeah, he's like, and he called Clark, "Hey, blind man," and yeah, and Clark eventually defeats him, but the other guy, Nathan, gets killed by a bunch of cars falling on top of him. What's up with this show and the villains getting killed by stuff falling on top of them? Yes, Clark saying Masterson's so incarcerated, and Clark learned to control his abilities, but he eventually learned to not use his glasses. And Chloe's like, hey, the only Chloe talked to Clark, and he's like, sorry, yeah. And Chloe and Clark make up for an earlier scene where Clark yelled at where Chloe and Clark, Clark and Lana kissed, and yeah, and Clark thinks he was out of line, and yeah. But anyway, and Clark tells Lana tells Clark about Adam, and yeah. So yeah, and also Chloe and Clark talk, and he's like he's like Lionel found me at a weak spot and made me work for him. And he's like, hey, you found me a weak spot to a Metropolis, and you were able to 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 bring me back. And he's like, we stopped digging life, we stopped digging. And she's like, yeah, whenever you tell me, you'll tell me when you're ready. And yeah, so I kind of found this episode kind of boring. I Yeah, it was just about Clark being born. It wasn't about Clark stopping a meteor and a meteor, kind of a guy with a meteor rock, but he wasn't like the big bad guy. He was just the guy that was the muscle of the real bad guy, and it was kind of boring. Not saying that's Clark being blind part was boring, but the episode in general was kind of boring. It didn't have a good. It had a good ending where Chloe and Clark made a promise that Chloe would stop digging information on Clark, and that's why she went, and then before Chloe went to quit Lionel, and he's like, hey, and he's like, your daily planet column got rejected. And she's like, what? And she's like, yeah, Lionel, but I don't work for you anymore. So yeah, Chloe stuck it to Lionel. She doesn't work for him anymore. And good. Yeah. So I next. So yeah. So okay, have a wonderful night. I'll see you in next video, which I'll be doing next Smallville.